temperatures were 19 degrees. One boy came in a thin cotton t-shirt every morning that January, while other children peeled off puffy coats and snow boots. Noah arrived bare-armed and trembling.
That child is going to freeze. Why isn't anyone dressing him?
The person who dropped him off was an older woman, his grandmother, Esther. She never stayed, never explained. Her own coat was as thin as his t-shirt. By Wednesday, Sophia had started waiting for that little boy. Same shirt, no coat, a pattern she couldn't ignore.
Sweetheart, aren't you freezing? Where's your coat?
The little boy just stared at the floor and shook his head. His skin felt like ice, even from inches away. By Thursday morning, his lips had taken on a bluish hue. The cold was winning. Sophia opened her wallet. Groceries for the next 2 weeks, $230 left. That was all.
A coat, boots, maybe a hat. I'll figure out the food later. Miss Johnson, I need to ask about Noah. Is everything okay at home?
His mother is in the hospital. Postpartum complications. The grandmother's doing everything, but it's hard.
Nia, only 22, had given birth 3 months ago and never fully recovered. Now she lay in a hospital bed, too weak to hold her own baby.
So that's why Esther never stays. She's holding everyone up with her bare hands.
She ran the numbers for the 3rd time. $230 for food, a coat, boots, hat, mittens, easily $190.
I can skip lunch for 2 weeks. It's just food.
Her stomach tightened at the thought of her own empty fridge. But the image of Noah's blue lips was louder. She told Miss Johnson she was taking an early lunch. No coat aisle in the daycare was going to stock itself. Burlington Coat Factory was 7 blocks away. She'd pass 3 soup kitchens on the walk. By the time she pushed through the glass doors, the decision had stopped hurting.
This one, heavy enough. A size up so he can wear it next winter, too.
She threw in snow boots, a knit cap, and mittens on a string. Winter armor for a 5-year-old. At the register, the cashier scanned each tag. The total blinked, $190.00.
3 days of work. 3 days of groceries. Just do it.
Her fingers trembled as she laid the money on the counter. The cashier took it without a word. The receipt came out long and thin. She stared at the number, but didn't need to read it. She walked out into the gray afternoon, the oversized bag swinging from her hand like a pendulum.
This can't look bought. Not from me.
By the time she reached the corner, she knew exactly what she'd tell Esther. A donation, anonymous, from a parents' group. The walk back felt longer. Her lunch break was almost over, and her stomach was empty. But the bag felt lighter than her wallet. Esther was at the daycare door, shivering in her thin coat. Sophia lifted the bag.
Miss Esther. Wait, some parents donated these winter things. Leftovers. I thought they'd fit Noah.
Donated? Oh, thank God. He's been so cold.
Esther's hands trembled as she took the bag. She didn't question the brand new tags.
Noah, come here, sweetheart. Let's see if these fit.
She tugged the coat over his thin shoulders and zipped it to his chin. The sleeves hung past his fingertips. Noah looked down at the puffy navy fabric, then up at Sophia with a tiny smile. Esther took his hand, and they walked into the snow. The new coat a bright spot in the gray.
$190 for that smile. Ramen for a month is a fair trade.
That night, her refrigerator held eggs and peanut butter. She closed it without eating. Noah was warm. 3 weeks passed. The navy coat became a fixture on the low hook near the door. Noah wore it like armor.
He's running now, laughing. The color is back in his cheeks.
Miss Johnson sat in her cramped office, filling out the annual inventory form. Under donations received, she listed winter clothing.
We're lucky. Some anonymous parents group gave us coats and boots last month.
The form went to the state office, one page among thousands. A caseworker stamped it and entered it into the child welfare database. The database pinged. A routine search flagged the donation as part of a wider child welfare review. No one had connected the pieces yet. A social worker pulled the file, circled the donation note, and dialed the daycare number. Sophia heard nothing of it. She was on the carpet with the toddlers, building block towers that fell over and over.
Nap time in 10 minutes. I'll make Noah some warm milk.
The call that would upend her Friday came later. But first, the audit needed to find its way through the machines. Sophia's phone lit up. A text from Miss Johnson. "Come to my office now. Urgent."
What's wrong? Did something happen to one of the kids?
She found Miss Johnson already in her coat, keys in hand, face tight with an emotion Sophia couldn't name.
Sophia, you need to clock out and drive to Newark Liberty Airport right now.
The airport. Why? Is something wrong with my mother?
I can't explain. It's personal. Someone is waiting for you. You have to go now.
Personal? I don't have family flying in. None of this makes sense.
The director's face was lined with a worry Sophia had never seen before. Something larger than the daycare. Sophia grabbed her coat and ran out into the afternoon cold. The director's urgency like a hand on her back. Her old sedan rumbled to life. She merged onto the highway, the airport sign glowing ahead, her heart thudding against her ribs. The highway unspooled smoothly until the exit ramp became a parking lot, brake lights for half a mile.
Not now. Not a traffic jam. What if the person waiting just leaves?
Then she saw the flickering red and blue. Not an accident. Cruisers angled across all lanes.
They're blocking the off-ramp. Did something happen at the airport?
A broad-shouldered officer crunched through the snow and tapped on her window.
Miss Carter,
She rolled the glass down, throat tight. He knew her name.
please stay in your vehicle. We'll escort you the rest of the way.
Escort me. What in the world is going on?
She had no choice. Her foot touched the gas, and her sedan fell in line behind the cruisers, the tarmac somewhere beyond the gate. The cruisers parted the gate, and her sedan bumped onto the tarmac, concrete stretching to the horizon. A sleek private jet sat alone, surrounded by more police cars. Its stairs were lowered like an invitation. Airport ground crew stood frozen, watching a beat-up sedan roll where only fuel trucks and luggage carts belonged.
A private jet. For me, none of this makes sense.
You can park here, Miss Carter. Someone is waiting for you on board.
She stepped out into the icy wind, the jet's stairs looming. The officer fell back. Each step seemed louder than the last, the metal groaning under her weight. The afternoon darkening. The cabin door swung open from inside. Warm golden light spilled onto the snowy tarmac. She crossed the threshold. Leather seats, polished wood, a space that cost more than her apartment. The door clicked shut behind her. In the soft light, a man rose, waiting. He hadn't spoken yet. The man rose from a cream leather seat, tall and dignified, his dark suit pressed. But his eyes were raw, as if he hadn't slept in days.
That man has been crying. And he's looking at me like I am the only person in the world.
He placed a hand over his heart, a gesture both graceful and desperate. He didn't speak.
I don't know him, but whatever this is, it's not about trouble. It's about grief.
Sophia Carter. His voice shattered on the word Carter, as if he'd been holding it in for a decade.
Yes. Who are? Why am I here?
He didn't answer. His jaw tightened, and he searched her face as if memorizing it. The silence stretched, heavy and full. The hum of the jet, the only sound. Then, finally, he gestured to the seat across from him, his hand trembling. She lowered herself into the seat opposite him. the silence as heavy as the cold she had fled. Then he spoke, his voice scraped raw.
You bought my son a coat.
The words hit her like a physical blow. Noah, the little shivering boy she'd bought a coat for out of her own grocery money 3 weeks ago.
Your son? Noah is your son?
Yes, Noah, my boy. I believed he was gone forever.
He pressed a fist to his chest, as if he could pull the pain out. Tears fell freely down his face, and he didn't try to hide them. A decade of grieving hung in the air.
But Miss Johnson said his father wasn't around, I thought.
I have been trying to reach him for 10 years. I was told he was dead as an infant.
Sophia's hand flew to her mouth. The donated coat, the audit, the blocked off-ramp, everything clicked into place.
You gave him warmth when I could not. I owe you everything. Please, let me tell you how this happened. 11 years ago, I was a telecom executive. Nia was a law student. We were engaged.
He pulled out a worn photograph. Nia, younger, holding a newborn Noah. The only picture he'd carried for 10 years.
During a green card dispute, I was deported. I lost contact with Nia completely. When I finally found a way to call, her number was disconnected. I was told Noah had died as an infant.
But he's alive. He's been coming to my daycare every morning for months.
2 days ago, a social worker called. A coat donation report flagged his name in a state system.
The navy coat Sophia had bought on her lunch break had triggered the audit that reunited a fractured family.
I flew in this morning. When I landed, I refused to leave this plane until I could meet you.
The coat. My $190. I was just trying to keep a little boy warm.
In that cabin, the story hung between them. A decade of loss, a small kindness, and a father who had stopped a jet to say thank you. But he hadn't yet asked what he needed next. Eliud broke the heavy silence by reaching into his suit pocket and pulling out something small and wooden.
I carved this in Nairobi during the 2 weeks after the social worker called. I needed something to do with my hands.
It was a mother holding a child, crude but beautiful, each cut mark a testament to his waiting.
He made this with his own hands, while waiting to see a son he thought was dead.
There is a letter as well. I wrote it because I couldn't trust myself to say everything I feel.
He slid a thick, handwritten envelope across the polished table. It was sealed with red wax.
I'll read every word, I promise.
I came to thank you, but also to ask something. I don't know if I have the right.
Sophia waited, the wooden figure seeming to hum with the warmth of a father's longing against her skin.
First, please take these. The carving, the letter. Then I will ask what I need. I need someone Noah trusts to be with him when I meet him. The court requires a third-party intermediary.
He's asking me to be legally responsible for their first meeting. That's huge.
I don't offer money. I offer only what you hold. A carving, a letter, and my word. Will you do this?
The carving seemed to burn in her palm. She thought of Noah's blue lips, his tiny smile in the coat.
Yes, I'll be the intermediary. For Noah.
Thank you. You are saving him twice over.
He cupped her hands around the carving and held them for a long moment, then released. Outside the jet, the tarmac wind hit her face. She clutched the letter to her chest and walked to her car in the fading light. In the driver's seat, she looked at the sealed wax. The carving sat on the passenger seat like a passenger itself.
What just happened? I said yes to something I don't fully understand, but it feels right.
In the silence, she broke the wax seal. The air seemed to hold its breath. Dear Miss Carter, your small gift did more than keep a boy warm. It told me my son was alive. For a decade, I lived with the lie that he was gone. Your coat gave us back a future. Her eyes blurred. The words were too big for the page. She set the letter down, the carving beside it, on the passenger seat. That night, she placed the carving on her desk, the only thing that felt certain.
I am his bridge now. No turning back.
She traced the carved mother's face, feeling the grooves Eliud had cut in his Nairobi workshop.
Don't mess this up. Noah needs this to go right.
The carving sat there, quiet and heavy, as she stared at it until the moon rose. The next Monday, Sophia walked into the family courthouse. The marble halls felt colder than the January air. A social worker led her to a small office, spread out the supervised visitation protocols, page after page. No alone time, no pressure. The child's emotional safety was the only rule that mattered.
I have to be in the room the whole time. No mistakes. It's all on me.
Sophia suggested the daycare's reading room. It was the only place Noah had never cried.
Miss Johnson, I need to use the reading room for a court-ordered meeting. Noah's father is coming.
His father? I thought he wasn't in the picture. Of course you can use it.
She doesn't know the whole story, but she trusts me.
She arranged 2 small chairs facing each other, a soft rug, a few picture books, a space for a miracle.
This room could change everything. Please let it be enough.
3 days later, an envelope arrived from the family court. Sophia's name was on it. She tore it open in the hallway. The order granted supervised visitation with Sophia Carter as the approved intermediary.
It's official. No backing out now.
She pressed the paper to her chest and leaned against the wall, breathing through the sudden weight. The next day, she returned to the reading room early. The chairs were too stiff, the books too few. She adjusted every inch.
This chair is too big for him. This one feels just right. Small, but sturdy.
She added Noah's favorite picture book, the one about airplanes, and stepped back.
Lord, give me the words. Help me not cry.
The room held its breath, waiting for a morning it had never been asked to witness.
Tomorrow, I watch a father meet his son, and I am the one in the middle.
The morning arrived soft and cold. Sophia took Noah's small hand and led him past the coat hooks into the reading room.
Noah, a very special friend is coming to visit you today. Just you and him.
Who?
Don't lie, Sophia. You can't say just a friend. But the truth isn't yours to tell yet.
A black town car had stopped outside. Eliud climbed the steps with a small wrapped gift, his hands unsteady. Sophia opened the reading room door. Eliud stood there, wearing the same raw eyes he'd had on the jet.
Sophia.
She stepped aside and gestured him in. The room seemed to shrink around the 3 of them. Noah looked up from the rug. His dark eyes found the tall stranger, and something ancient flickered between them.
Here it is. Don't cry. Don't break. Just breathe and be here.
Sophia knelt between them, the daycare rug soft beneath her. She took Noah's small hand, then reached for Eliud's.
Noah, sweetheart, this is Eliud. He is your father, and he's been waiting to meet you for a very long time.
Noah pressed against Sophia's leg, his eyes on the stranger, wary but not running. Eliud lowered to one knee, his eyes level with the boy. He let the silence stretch, his eyes glistening.
Hello, Noah. I've thought about this for 10 years, and now all I can say is hello.
From his suit pocket, he pulled a small wooden block, carved with an airplane. He held it out.
I made this for you. Maybe we can build something together?
Noah's hand crept forward, hesitant. He took the block, turning it over in his fingers, as if it held a secret. They sat on the rug. Eliud placed a block. Noah added one. The tower wobbled but didn't fall. Sophia watched, her heart in her throat.
He's smiling. Noah is actually smiling. Stay still, Sophia. Don't interrupt this miracle.
Eliud reached into his breast pocket and withdrew a carving, a smaller version of the one Sophia held, and offered it to Noah.
This is you and your mother when you were a tiny baby. I carved it so you'd always know how much she loves you.
Noah's small thumb traced the mother's face, the same rough grooves Elliot had cut in his Nairobi workshop.
Is that my mommy? She looks pretty.
Yes, and she's getting better every day. I'll be here now too. If you let me, I would like to try to be your father.
Sophia gently lifted her own carving, the one from the jet, and held it between them, its wood still warm from her pocket.
And you, Sophia, gave us the chance to meet. This wood holds a debt I can never repay.
A long quiet settled. Then Noah tugged on Eliud's sleeve, his small face serious.
Can you come back tomorrow? I have more blocks to show you.
Eliud's answer was a strangled sob and a nod. He gathered Noah into his arms, the boy's small shape disappearing against his chest as Sophia pressed her carving to her heart.
I will come back tomorrow, Noah, with more blocks and all the stories I have saved for 10 years.
Sophia took Noah's hand, fingers sticky from block building, and led him back to the other children. The coat on its hook seemed brighter. She returned to the reading room alone, closing the door gently. The air still held the warmth of the reunion, like the final note of a song. She knelt to gather the wooden blocks, stacking them with a carpenter's patience. The airplane block went on top. Then she sat in one of the tiny chairs, her knees almost to her chest, and stared at the carving cupped in her hands.
This little thing, carved in Nairobi, carried across an ocean, handed to me on a jet. It's the reason I spent $190. The reason a family found its way home.
She traced the mother and child, the same grooves she first touched in her car by the airport. The wood had grown warm. A tear splashed onto the wood. She pressed it to her lips, then against her heart, still seated in that too-small chair. She stood, the carving cupped in both hands like a living thing, and walked toward the door. The reading room fell silent behind her, the two chairs facing each other, a faint echo of laughter still clinging to the rug. The next morning, Sophia placed the wooden carving on her desk in the daycare corner, facing the room where Noah played. It stood as a quiet sentinel among the crayon drawings and attendance sheets, its wood still warm from her touch. A year later, Eliud and Lua arrived together, the boy's hand in his father's, the navy coat a bit tighter now.
He's taller now, but that little smile is the same.
Every morning, the carving caught the first light through the window, dust motes dancing around it. Sophia would pause in her day, between lessons and snack time, to glance at it and remember. When colleagues asked about it, she'd say simply, "A gift from a father who lost his way and found it again." The carving stayed through all the years. Through new children, new winters, new coats hung on those low hooks. Sophia grew older, her braids threaded with gray, but the carving remained unchanged. A mother and child, fixed in wood, it sat there for the rest of her career. A quiet reminder that a $190 coat can rewrite a family's history. And when Sophia retired, long after Noah had grown, the carving remained. Near it, a crayon drawing. Two stick figures beneath a jet, the sun a yellow circle. She never framed it, never explained it fully. She didn't need to. Everyone who saw it asked, and she'd say, "A boy with a coat taught me that warmth travels like ripples." The room is quiet now, the low hooks empty, but the echoes remain. The mother's carved fingers, the child's upturned face, both worn smooth by a thumb that needed proof that kindness works. Noah had drawn it at 5, and Eliud had kept it, then given it back to her, framed in nothing but memory. Sunlight never failed to find that little wooden family each morning, as if it were the most important thing on the desk. So the story closes, not with a jet on a tarmac, but with a carving on a desk holding a winter that changed everything. Sometimes the smallest warmth can thaw a frozen past, and sometimes it brings a father home.